wine, it's the beer, it's the food, it's the language, the architecture, fashion, music, all of that is what we expose people to when they're visiting these ports of call. We're a highly inclusive product, but not all inclusive. There's two items of a personal nature, and that's tipping and alcoholic beverages. We do include alcohol, we do include beer and wine and soft drinks and mimosas while you're dining, but if it's a cocktail after hours, it is a la carte by the glass, or there's a really affordable drink package called Silver Spirits. It's roughly about $20 per person per day, and it gives you unlimited alcohol. And then tipping is a personal nature. We do a suggested amount, but it's actually up to our guests how they want to do it. Hopefully you can hear my dogs, excuse me. I work from home and I have 2 terriers and they do like barking every time something goes by. So hopefully you'll understand why they're serenading us right now. Excuse me, but we do a suggested amount for tipping, and it's up to our guests to decide. You can look in the brochure, there's a per person per day amount. You can either prepay it before you go on your cruise. You can wait till you get on board the ship to pay it, or you can do it the old fashioned way where you present the person that you felt made the difference on the voyage, give them an envelope if you'd like with cash. It really is up to you. It's a personal thing as far as tipping goes, but it is a la carte. It is something that you have to plan for. We're a very efficient operator. We try to pass on savings where we can. Probably the most popular way to save a little extra on Viking is by not using a credit card to pay for your cruise. You can do a bank transfer right from your checking account to the reservation, and you can save the transaction fee that normally we'd be paying to the credit card company. You have to decide for yourself, is it important to get the miles or whatever perks that credit card has, or do you want to save that little extra % on their cruise? And we can give you the difference. We can tell you what it's like to pay via credit card, via what it's like to pay with bank transfer, and you can decide for yourself what's important. And again, we hire some great staff on board our ships. We've remained small. We have a commitment to our staff to not just start building bigger and bigger ships. We're going to stay small. Our crew appreciates that. We pay them a little bit higher standard than most other cruise lines, and they stay around with us. We have a very high retention rate for our staff. Our philosophy from the beginning has always been, the happier the crew member is, the happier the guest experience will be. So we've got wonderful, attentive, gracious, humble people working for us. And again, they come back contract after contract. We do call ourselves a thinking person's cruise line because it is all about the ports and what we do in the ports of call. So we have the opportunity for you to learn about the ports even before the planning begins. You can go on our website or work with the agents to help select which itinerary is right for you. Watch videos about the ports of call, learn what to expect, learn a language, learn some key phrases in that language that we're visiting. So we've got these wonderful filmographies throughout our website. So perhaps you don't know what you want to do or where you want to go. You don't know what there is going on in Regensburg, but you can quickly go to our website, click on something, and you can be you can learn about what the key features of visiting that port are. We have these videos on just about every port that we visit. We have recommended readings. We've got brochures to help you decide. But we really help prepare you before you go. All your activities throughout the ship are going to be focused on that particular region that we're cruising in. We do include a shore excursion in every port. So usually, especially on riverboat cruising, most everybody takes part in that shore excursion. So if you're looking at a ship that holds 190 guests, generally all 190 people take part in that included shore excursion. We break them down into smaller groups and people head out and do that shore excursion. On the ocean ships, it's a little bit different. Not as many people do the included shore excursion because perhaps they've been to these ports before. But we figure that most everybody will. So we do that shore excursion generally in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we offer optional shore excursions, and I'll talk about those in just a second. And we do have the ability to have people meet one another very quickly. We're relatively small. You're going to see the same people in the hallways. You're going to see them at breakfast, lunch, dinner. You're going to be riding on coaches that go on these shore excursions. Hopefully, you're going to build some lifelong friendships along the way because you've all embarked on this journey together. You're all creating these experiences while you're in port. Hopefully, you're making some wonderful friends along the way. And our guests typically travel with other people. They typically either bring someone that they know with them, or they maybe met someone on a previous cruise and then they plan to go on future cruises together. So it's just, cruising is such a social part of vacations. It's just a setup for people to meet one another and to build friendships. We are small. We consider ourselves the small ship experts. I think September now is going to be our 24th year in the industry. So we say 2 decades, but we're actually coming up on 25 starting next year. Ships are intimate and elegant. We'll talk about what separates us a little bit from everybody else. And because TOR had the idea of long-term leasing or purchasing docking areas, we actually pull up into the heart of the destination, especially on riverboat cruising. We are exactly where you want to be. You wake up, you step off the ship, and you are in these little towns. You step into the lives of the people that are living there. That's the phenomenal thing about river cruising in particular, is that you step off the ship and you are automatically where all the action is. Ocean cruising as well. We do get prime berths for ocean cruising as well, and we'll see that in just a bit. Small subtle things make us different. If we're looking at the picture right now, you'll see the front of the ship has a restaurant in the front. A lot of other cruise lines just use that for storage. We were able to create this al fresco dining experience where you could head out and have a breakfast or lunch. There's a glass wall that prevents any breeze from bothering you. And it's just amazing during the day to be up there and look out, because we do some scenic cruising during the day on our ships. So you definitely want to have a great vista to see all that. So just little innovative things that we have on our ships that other brands wish they had, but we actually patented them. So we've got the exclusive to a couple things. And we are owned and operated. Pretty much when you're traveling with us, you're going to be with Viking the whole way. You don't have to do it that way. You can work with the agency and kind of put it together as you like it. But most people do their airfare with us. They do their land packages, but perhaps they're coming in early or they're staying late. And we can do that all together, or you don't have to. It just makes it easier that we know where you are the whole step of the way. We've got you covered. The coaches that are picking you up are all part of Viking. We don't rely on a lot of third-party companies to worry if they're going to show up. We know it's Viking there to pick you up. We work really well with the airlines. We work really well with the hotel chains. So it is a seamless operation. Food is really important as far as cruising goes. And since the beginning, we've always had the idea that the food should be representative of what the ports are. So it is local, fresh, regional cuisine with local recipes. You're going to definitely see, especially on the riverboats, you're gonna see the crew actually headed out to go buy some fresh ingredients while they're in port. There's just certain things that they want to buy in that particular area, and you'll see them head out. Also, same thing with ocean cruising. We actually do shop local when it comes to ocean cruising. You are cooking for 930 people as compared to 190 people. So they have to do a little bit extra shopping for ocean cruising. We do a lot of fun events on board the ships. We call them our taste of events. Everybody knows everybody knows wine tasting. Everybody knows cheese tasting, but we have fun. Our staff, our culinary staff, they do cognac tasting, they do vodka tasting, they do mustard tasting while we're in Germany, they do vinegar tasting. That's really such a thing. You get to learn from all the experts about these, what particular things to look for when you're sampling these items, and you're having fun at the same time and you're learning something. So the taste of events are not to be missed. Impeccable service, but very casual. Our guests know that we don't really have a dress code. People pretty much dress how they feel most comfortable. There's no designated dress up nights. There's no suit and tie. There's pretty much a collared shirt for a gentleman or a sweater, but there's just no dictating what you need to wear. Most people can wear the same outfit that they got up and went out during the day. They can wear that same outfit all day long, maybe freshen up throughout the day when they go to dinner. But the airlines have really done a number as far as how people pack to go on vacation nowadays. So people are very practical. And we think people should be comfortable first and foremost. So we take our jobs very serious, impeccable service on our part, but very comfortable with our guests. I mentioned this earlier, we have a very high retention rate for our crew. 90% of our crew come back contract after contract. It's very high in the cruise line industry to have the crew repeating like that. They like the fact that our ships are pretty much identical. If you do the Danube one year, you're on that ship. The next year you might work the Rhine. They're identical ships. You know your job from the minute you get there, and you have to be a people person that gets along with others, because especially on riverboat cruising, you're maybe looking at a crew of 50 people. So you have to wear several hats. You have to get along with others. You have to be flexible. So these people were lucky that they come looking to work for us because they've heard good things. We pay them higher than industry standard, and it definitely shows in our surveys that we give out to our clients following the cruise. They feel our staff makes all the difference. Definitely, they're specialized in the Swiss art of hospitality, attention to detail. We do have a service guarantee, so if something's not quite right, if a guest comes on board the ship and they see something that is not to their liking, we ask that they let us know immediately. They go to the front desk, and then we ask that they give us time to rectify the situation. We generally ask for 24 hours. If we can't fix the situation or whatever's popped up, the guest can actually choose to disembark the ship and receive a refund. So we're that sure that we can solve things that are brought to our attention, and we're one of the only cruise lines that offers something as the service guarantee. So if you are sitting on the fence and you're wondering if you're gonna like cruising, you come on board, you scrutinize it, you look and see if we're right for you. If you see something that you don't like, let us know. We're gonna make good on it. We're gonna figure out how to make you happy. Again, if we can't, you do have that service guarantee available. Part of our program is enrichment and getting out and learning about the ports and taking part in different aspects of these ports of call. So we do a lot of fun things. We bring in lectures, we do wine tastings, we do port talks, and we bring in destination performers, singers, dancers, musicians that come in from the ports to perform on board the ship, generally in the afternoon and the evening. We do include that shore excursion in every port. If there's something that you're looking that we don't offer, just ask, because these ships have been going up these rivers and around the world, around the globe. We've visited these ports probably before. We've been asked the question probably before. So if there's something that you saw that you want to do, you don't see that we offer, chances are someone else has asked before you and we've been able to arrange it. So don't be shy, ask. If there's something you want to do, our crew can pick up the phone, call the next port, and arrange something for you. That's the nice thing about being small and being steadily doing these ports of calls over and over again. The one question we get a lot is bicycles. We don't carry bicycles on board the ship. The bicycles tend to require a lot of maintenance and a lot of storage. They get rusty very easily. So we can get bicycles. If bicycle riding is important to you, we'll find bicycles for you, but just ask, we can arrange that. I mentioned that we do include a shore excursion in every port. And then those are pretty well-rounded. You're gonna get a good aspect of what that port is all about. You're gonna see the key features of that port. If there's something you wanna do more in your particular interest, we do offer our optional shore excursions. We break them down into 3 different groups: local life, working world, and privilege access. Local life gives you a chance to step into the lives of what the people in that area do for their free time. A good example is in Budapest. A very social thing that they do is they go to these thermal spas. There's, I think, 150 thermal spas just in Budapest alone. The whole country has lots of spas, but just in Budapest, there's quite a few. It's like going bowling for them. They get ready, they go out, they go into these elaborate, beautiful spas. They soak, they visit, they socialize. You'll have a chance to do that. They're amazing. They're beautiful to witness and to take part in. And again, you're going to rub elbows with the locals. If that's not really of an interest to you, we do offer Working World. It gives you a chance to see a particular key feature of that region. Perhaps if you're in the Rhine Getaway itinerary, we do have a chance for you to go to a local farm and see how Gouda cheese is made. It's fascinating to see the whole process and to see the world famous Gouda cheese. And you'll see every aspect of it. You'll see right from the milking to right where you'll meet all the cows. You'll be able to witness how the process of creating the cheeses and the aging process. I did this about a year ago. I was fascinated. I never thought of myself as a city guy, but when I got to the farm and met like 300 cows. It was it was pretty interesting, and it definitely had a little bit of a smell. Definitely was at a farm, but after a while we got used to it. But it was really fascinating. It's something that I wouldn't do normally in my regular day. So it was pretty neat to head out there and to see the process of how Gouda cheese is made. And then our last type of short excursion is called privilege access. These are done in very, very small numbers. You're going to have the chance to say you did something kind of one of a kind, once in a lifetime experience. These are done in all ports that we visit. A good example is in Vienna. We go see the Vienna Boys Choir, but you're not going to a concert hall with hundreds of people. You're going to go in and maybe be 10, 15 people seeing the Vienna Boys Choir in a private concert. So you'll be able to ask them questions and find out what their lives are like. They're the rock stars of Europe. It's very hard to become a Vienna boy. They compete globally. A certain number have to come from Austria. So when you're in their presence and you're hearing their voices, it's very, very special, especially in that small of a group setting. Those tend to be the most expensive ones because they're done in very small numbers. We think we're a really great value as far as cruising goes because of so much that's included with Viking. That one short excursion and every port that we visit, your meals are going to be authentic to the region that we're cruising in. And if you have dietary needs, just let us know. Or if there's something on the menu that just doesn't sound appetizing to you, if we're in Bavaria, we're probably going to have Wiener Schnitzel for dinner, and maybe you don't like Wiener Schnitzel. We do have American classics on board, so just ask. It is open seating, so you dine with whom you want, when you want. Beer, wine, soft drinks, mimosas are included. Same thing with coffee drinks. If you're a mocha or a cappuccino person, just ask. There's never a charge. Bottled water, cruise lines want to charge for bottles of water, and being hydrated on vacation is very important, especially for overcoming jet lag. Bottled water everywhere. Just ask. It's in your cabin. It's on shore excursions. It's throughout the ship. If you like still, if you like effervescent water, it's available to you. Wi-Fi is also included, so you can stay in touch with people at home or post things or surf the internet. We always ask our guests if they're on social media, and they tell us, no, we're not, we're not Facebookers, we're not on Instagram. And then when they come back from a shore excursion, our bandwidth kind of drops because everybody's uploading pictures, and we're pretty sure that they're uploading them to social media because the bandwidth does pop back very quickly. But it's pretty funny. No one wants to ever admit to it. And we can see their photos because most of them are somehow follow Viking. So we know they're not telling us the truth, that they're not on social media, but doesn't matter. First class hotels. So if you come in early or stay late, we use the main hotels that everybody's familiar with. They're in great locations. They have American standard type features in the rooms. Sometimes when you think you're going to go to Europe, especially, you'll think, oh, I want to stay at a boutique hotel. Boutique could mean no elevator, and it could mean that you're on the 4th or 5th floor. So we use the main hotels. They're in great locations: Marriott's, Sheraton's, Hilton's, but they're not in the outskirts. They're not by the airport. They're in great locations. So if you come in early or stay late, you have that option. In-room infotainment, so you can stay in tune with what's going on in the world. There's news stations, there's TV, movies that just left the movie theater, movies that are filmed in that particular region that you're cruising in. And we do have a station that's just nothing but Downton Abbey. So if you haven't watched a minute of Downton Abbey, you can catch up and get kind of hooked on Mary Crawley, and I think it's Mary Crawley, I think that's her name, and know all the things that go on with Downton Abbey. And then as far as pricing goes, our pricing is very simple at Viking. A lot of times a cruise line will have a price, and you'll like it, and then a couple of minutes later, they're like, well, we have to add the port charges, government fees, and taxes onto that price. We try to keep, again, things simple at Viking, so all of that is just in one price. You don't have a separate price out there that you have to worry about. So make sure you talk to the agents about that when you're looking for your particular itinerary. We are promoting this itinerary. The travel agency does have group space blocked on this particular itinerary. It's one of our tried and true itineraries. We've got 3 different itineraries, which are pretty much the mainstay of Viking, 2 of them on the Danube and the 3rd one on the Rhine. This one goes from Basel to Amsterdam or vice versa. And it's really cruising through castle country. If you've ever wanted to go in and see castles, this is the itinerary for you. It's phenomenal to spend a little time before, after in Amsterdam. Basel, not a lot of people know about Basel. It's a kind of a smaller city. It's actually Viking's headquarters for Europe. So that's where all of our planning for our cruises goes through Basel. It's a very chic town. It's got a lot of culture, a lot of art, a lot of museums. Breisach, if you're looking for the entrance to the Black Forest, Breisach. Strasbourg is a foodie town. If you're looking for something, this particular town has been both German and French over the years. So it's a great combination of both. Rudesheim, Koblenz, a good chance to go see some castles. You'll be cruising through castle country. Cologne, phenomenal, pretty big city to visit. The cathedral's amazing. One of the shore excursions that we offer is to go to the very top of the Cologne Cathedral, but it's by elevator. Most everybody goes up by the spiral staircase, which is pretty neat to do that. But if you're on that privileged access, you go right to the top by elevator, and you still get that beautiful view, but you're not winded. I thought I was in pretty good shape last year, but boy, it really knocked me out to go to the top of the cathedral. And then Kinderdijk, you'll be able to go see there's these 18th, 17th century windmills. They're still operated. People live in them. You're going to see why they were built. You'll learn the history of Kinderdijk. It's a neat little city right outside of Amsterdam. And of course, Amsterdam, known for the art scene. It's just a beautiful city to stroll through. People ride bikes everywhere. All these little bridges and islands and canals connecting. You definitely want to come in early or stay late, depending on what you're looking for. Going to Europe for 8 days is just, that's a long trip for 8 days. So you want to pre-stay somewhere or stay post in order to extend your vacation. Another very popular itinerary for us is the Romantic Danube, a chance to go from Budapest to Regensburg, Germany. This particular itinerary, you do a lot of overnighting, 2 nights in Budapest, 2 nights in Vienna. I'm sorry, 1 night, you overnight in Budapest, you have 2 days there, 2 days in Vienna where you overnight, and then at the very end, you have 2 days in Regensburg. And this could actually be done in reverse as well. So depending on what you're looking for. And then if you're looking to do cruising right from the start, this particular itinerary goes through both the Danube and the Rhine. It's a little bit longer, but people that are wanting to do it, you think you're going to like cruising, you've heard about Viking, we do a really great job. You want to do it right off the bat. This itinerary has everything. It's got the canals, the locks, the castles. It's got a lot of little medieval towns. It's got World War II history in Nuremberg, Germany. It's got Vienna for all the music history. Budapest, you've got that behind the Iron Curtain. There's just something in every single part that's just a little bit different as you go through this itinerary. And it's a nice mix of small towns and big cities. So you have a chance for both aspects on this journey. But generally, people that do this itinerary, when I meet them, they say, oh, when I was headed out on this itinerary, I thought 15 days. I thought that's going to be a really long vacation. But they say you're just so busy that it goes by in a blink, because you can see that we don't have any days where we're just like leisurely cruising. We are busy every single day going out and doing something. And even when we overnight in Vienna, you're going to be busy because that's such a spectacular city to visit. So make sure if you are interested in the Rhine or any of these other itineraries, talk to the agents about what time of year is of interest to you. Our ships, again, are all pretty much identical. We created a design that works very well. We have to be able to fit through canals and into lock systems and be able to fit underneath bridges. So we're long and slender and not very wide. 190 guests on board, 443 feet long with just 4 decks. You can get yourself familiarized with the ship generally in 20 minutes. You're not going to get too lost on a river ship. They're very easy to find your way around on. You can see that restaurant that I mentioned in the front. That one middle section, you'll see that our main restaurant is kind of low to the river, so you can look out while you're cruising for a river view, or if you're in the port, you could look up into the city. Our lounge and bar is just one deck above. So we do a lot of social talks in there. Or anytime we need to get together and discuss things, we'll have that lounge open to everybody. On this particular side of the ship is where you find the balcony cabins. Generally, people want a balcony when they cruise. We do have some other variety of cabins. We've got some that have a sliding glass door, and it's called a French balcony. You just open the sliding glass door, you'll get fresh air, but there's no balcony there. We should probably call it a French railing because there's no real balcony. A true balcony is what we're looking at right now. And then our two largest cabins happen to be on the back of the ship. There are Explorer suites. People ask, do you feel motion? Do I feel the propeller? Do I smell fumes from the engine coming back there? And the answer is no. Those are pretty much the most expensive cabins. They're the largest cabins. We're usually doing our travel at night. We're moving the ship from point A to point B at night. And there's no motion really on rivers. It's pretty smooth sailing on rivers as we're cruising. We do have a Scandinavian feel to our ships. After our owner, Tor was born in Norway, so our ships have a Scandinavian feel, definitely cozy, comfortable, inviting conversation. When you think of Scandinavian design, do not think of IKEA. We're not IKEA. There's no IKEA on board. Light-filled, modern, always bringing in nature, always bringing an element of nature indoors. That's their design aesthetic in the Scandinavian countries, is to bring nature indoors. They call it bringing the timber inside. So that's our focus of our ships as far as our design goes. Our front desk, should you have any questions, just head to the front desk, and this is where people gather before and after. Maybe you're heading off to a shore excursion. You'll come up here and you'll be met by the crew, and they will organize our shore excursions. Again, very, very small groups of people head out, so we keep track of everybody. Looking out from that particular desk, you've got our one-story atrium, our grand staircase. Forward on this deck is our dining room. One deck above is our lounge. Again, very, very simple design to get around on the ship. You'll see a lot of light. You'll see a lot of windows bringing light indoors. It makes the ship feel bigger. It also gives you a chance to look out and see the river as we're cruising. And here's our dining room, open seating. You dine with whom you want, when you want. If you happen to eat in one table one night and then the next night finds you at a bigger table because you met friends and you have a different waiter, you don't have to worry about repeating. If you're allergic to something, you don't have to worry about repeating it. Our crew talk to one another and they communicate very, very well. So you don't feel like you have to have the same waiter every night. It'd be great, and a lot of people do, but don't limit yourself. Move around, meet people, have a table for 6 one night, a table for 8 the next night, a table for 2 if you'd like. But use it to your advantage that you'll be able to move around the dining room and show up in the restaurant when you want to dine in the restaurant. Our lounge, again, is one deck up. Usually people will gather before dinner up here, pre-dinner cocktails. They'll talk about how your day was, what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And then at night, we do have entertainment up here. We bring on entertainment, but we also have a musician, singer, someone that can play contemporary dance music. We have a pretty good dance floor. We don't roll up the carpet at 9 o'clock. People stay up late. But just remember to pace yourself, because everything that you did that day in port, you're going to be doing again the very next day, probably. So if you're a party animal and you want to stay up late, just make sure you're up early the next morning to head off on that shore excursion. This is that restaurant that I mentioned, the Aquavit Terrace. It's the front of the ship. A lot of times people will head up here for breakfast and lunch, very casual. It does have a buffet. And if you don't want the buffet, just ask the waiter. It does share the galley with the dining room down below. So just ask and they'll bring you the menu, and you don't have to go through the buffet. Right now we're evaluating our protocol for when we start cruising again. People have been talking about, will buffets still exist? Somehow I think we'll figure out a way to make them still exist, because it's just a convenient way to feed people if you do it right. So, and we definitely do buffets right. Buffet is a bad word. They need to find a better way of saying a buffet, but it's the type where you come in and you gather food and you eat it, and then maybe go up for more if you'd like. But there's got to be a better way of saying that. Our cabins are unique. We've all got certain features throughout the fleet. You're always going to find a heated bathroom floor, heated towel racks, fogless mirrors, twin beds that convert to an oversized king-size bed, very, very comfortable and spacious as far as storage goes. This is our minimum accommodation. This is our lowest cabin category. You are at the water level here. So if you are looking out that window, you might actually be looking at the water line. So if you're a little bit claustrophobic, this is probably not the cabin for you, but you do have a river view. We call it the swan view because if there's a swan going by, you're going to be eyeball to eyeball with the swan as you look out that window. But it is modestly priced. You do have to take you do have to take a staircase down here. There's no elevator access to this, but it's 150 square feet. Our French balcony, again, this is the cabin. You pull back the balcony, the sliding glass door. You've got a nice railing there, but you don't have that ability to step out on it. And that's what people look for when they purchase a cabin. They want that little extra space where they can head outside and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. But 135 square feet is a nice sized cabin. You can lay in bed and look out through that glass partition as you're cruising along. This is the majority of what our cabins look like. This is our veranda stateroom. You can step out on that balcony. You can get some fresh air. That bottle of wine is not there by accident. It was placed there to remind us that we encourage people while they're in port to go out to vineyards and wineries or beer halls. And if you find something that you like, buy it. Don't try to come back to the ship and hide it. It's okay. You don't have to tell us it's olive oil. It's okay. You can buy alcohol in port. You can bring it back to the ship. You can drink it in your cabin. You could drink it in the public rooms. You could bring it to dinner. So that's what it's all about. That's what port of call visitation is all about. Finding something you love and maybe bringing it back to the ship and sharing it with other people. Our veranda cabins, these are 2-room suites. They have a French balcony off of the bedroom and a full balcony off of the living room. If you're looking for the most space, this is definitely the right cabin for you, 275 square feet. And then if you're looking for the ultimate, these are some of the largest suites of any riverboat company. We only have 2 of them per ship. They're on the back of the ship and they have a wraparound balcony. So if you're looking for, all the space, 445 square feet, you can entertain. We've got a nice balcony out there. It's just the most comfort because of the space available, but this is our bathroom. You're always going to find a glass enclosed shower on our ships. You don't find bathtubs very often because bathtubs take up a lot of footprint of a cabin. So we try to, again, utilize our space as much as possible. So a large glass enclosed shower. The bath products that you see there, those were actually created by the owner, Tor. It's kind of a funny story. He stayed in some very famous hotels around the world and he wears glasses and he's gotten into the shower and he's got the little bottle of shampoo and he opens it up only to find out that he's washing himself in conditioner. So he actually invented our bath products. They're very large, they're easy to open, and they've got big, bold print on them that say exactly what they are. And our guests appreciate those little extra touches. I know I have, because whenever I discovered that, and I knew the story behind it, it made total sense to me. People love our bath products, but unfortunately you can only get them on board the ship. So you have to cruise with us to try. You have to take my word on it. We'll switch gears here really quick to ocean cruising. We started ocean cruising in 2015. Tor's idea was to get back into ocean cruising because of the success of river cruising. So in 2013, we announced that we were going to go back into oceans. 2015, the very first ship hit the water. And we were very fortunate in our first year of operation. We took home the award from Travel and Leisure magazine as the world's #1 small ocean cruise line. The previous cruise line that had that award had it for 20 years. So here we come with our one ship debuting. We take home that award. They thought it was beginner's luck, but we've added ships every year since then. So currently we're up to 6 ocean ships. Our 7th ocean ship comes out in January of 2021, and we've managed to win the award for the consecutive 5 years. So the first couple of years of ocean cruising at Viking was full of people that had been on Viking River. People had been on Viking River and they thought, why not? I'll try Viking Ocean. They wanted to see what it was all about. But after we started winning this award, people started taking notice. So our ocean cruises have been very, very popular. And we do plan on having 12 identical sister ships. Currently, we're about halfway there. So between now and 2027, I think we're going to introduce another 6 ships. Small ship expert, state of the art. We don't want to start introducing different classes of ships. It just makes sense to have one size in the whole fleet. It makes it very easy for ordering, for staffing. We know how big the ship is and what port it can get into because they're all identical. So we are able to go into a lot of ports that other cruise lines can't get into. We don't have to tender. Anybody that's cruised before knows that tendering, you lose time in the city by tendering. You have to anchor, then you have to shuttle people by small boat from the ship to the port, so you lose time. So because we don't have to tender, you have more time in port. And of course, we do have central berths because we're small. The other cruise lines have decided that they wanted to be bigger and grander and build 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 passenger ships, and we're underneath 1,000, which is just the perfect size for a lot of ports throughout the world. Same idea with food. It's a regional style of food, regional quality. We just have more restaurants for you to try on board the ocean ships. There's a couple different areas that we just don't have on board the river ships. And we don't charge extra for alternate dining. So if you ever cruised before, you know that cruise lines are kind of notorious for building a central dining room and then building these smaller dining rooms and then charging extra for it. They're going to tell you that it's better quality food. They're going to tell you it's better service, the more experienced staff. They're trying to justify you paying extra for food. And that's not our philosophy at Viking. All the food should be wonderful. You should not have to pay a dime more for better quality food or better service. If you order room service, it should be the best possible room service. If you go to our Aquavit Terrace, World Cafe, buffet, I hate saying buffet, but if you go there, it should be amazing. If you go into the specialty restaurants, yes, they should be amazing, but not any much better than our main restaurant. So this actually keeps us honest. It keeps us producing wonderful food throughout the ship for everybody to enjoy and not pay extra for. So Manfredi's and Chef's Table are specialty restaurants. You make reservations, but you don't pay extra. The reason why we take reservations is because we don't want to overwhelm the galley. They do have small galleys, so we have to stagger the reservations so that the galleys can stay up on the orders that come in. World Cafe Aquavit Terrace, it is food that's made in small batches, or it's made specifically for you. Mamsen's is a Norwegian deli now named after Tor's mother. Some specialty dishes that she was known for. Pool grill, hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries. We did win best hamburger at sea a couple of years ago. So somebody went on board every cruise line and ate a hamburger. Ours was the best. So if you come on board, look for the Pancho Villa burger. That's what won it for us. Let's see, Winter Garden is where we have our afternoon tea. So sweet and savory desserts served with tea, and then 24-hour room service. Just call up and order what you'd like, and we'll get it to your cabin. Same idea with philosophy with crew. We have a very high retention rate for our crew on board the ships. Also that service guarantee. We do like saying yes at Viking, but there are some things we say no to. So no casinos. It's just not the entertainment that our guests are looking for. No children under 18. When we did have children on board, we just didn't develop a program. So about 2 years ago, we decided we'd just be adult only. There's other brands that do children way better than we ever did. We are an adult only brand. People tend to appreciate that. There's lots of choices for family. There's not that many that are like us. So we're kind of unique in that regard. So 18 and older, both on river and ocean. No umbrella drinks. Those are the drinks that the waiters made and they're melting and they really need to sell it to you and they're going to bug you over and over. If you want a pina colada, if you want a margarita, just ask. We'll blend something special for you. No photography sales. You're not going to be having dinner. Someone's going to come around and want to take a picture that you're probably not going to buy anyway. It is disruptive. It's just not, it just changes the whole dining aspect. So we don't do that. We don't have someone at the gangway dressed up like some sort of character. A lot of cruise lines are known for that. But we don't do that. Everybody's phone takes pictures nowadays. No art auctions. The art that you buy on cruise ships is not one of a kind. We're hoping that while you're in port, that you find artwork or a gallery or an antique store, you find something that you love because you have time there to find that you don't have to buy some artwork that, again, you can just order off the internet. No charge for beer, wine, soft drinks, or while you're dining. Alternative restaurants are no charge for Wi-Fi, no charge for laundrettes, which is kind of silly to mention, but a lot of times people are doing longer cruises as far as ocean goes. So they do have laundry and they want to, come on board the ship. Maybe they were staying on a land package and they want to wear something again. Just go into the laundry room, do a quick load of laundry. You don't have to have change for €1. It's very simple. No entrance fee for the spa. Cruise lines have been building bigger, grander spas, but they've also been charging people resort fees just to go in and use a thermal tub or a dry or steam sauna. Our gyms, our spas have enough space for everybody to enjoy. There's no pressure from the staff. Should you buy a spa package, if you buy a massage or facial, we're not going to try to upsell you or sell you some sort of product once you're there. You're there specifically to relax. We do have all those things available. You can purchase them if you'd like, but there's no pressure there. No inside cabins. Everybody has a balcony. No smoking on the interior of the ship or balconies. There's a small outside area kind of downwind. Well, we do every once in a while get a couple smokers, but we do have an area where they can smoke. No waiting in line. We've got the flow of how people move throughout the ship. You don't have to get there early and queue up in a line in order to get something. We've got that solved. No formal nights, no butlers, no white gloves, gracious, attentive service, but not stuffy. I always like to say that we're not anti-butler. If you have a butler at home, bring your butler. We just don't have them, but you're gonna love our staff. Humble, gracious, attentive, understated, but that's what makes Viking so special is our staff. And of course, no nickel and diming. Most of your cruise is paid for before you even leave. A lot of historians are brought on board the ships. We keep a resident historian to talk about the ports of call that you can actually go in and listen to, or put a small group together to talk about, or even have one-on-one time with the lecturers. We bring in a lot of key speakers, historians, people that have lived extraordinary lives throughout the globe. They'll come on board and share their life experiences with our guests. Destination performances, singers, dancers, musicians that are brought in from the ports to to perform for our guests. There is a particular itinerary that the agency is featuring as well. This is our Italian sojourn. This is a very, very popular itinerary because it goes around the boot. And it's some very famous, well-known cities, as well as some that are lesser known. So Rome, the Eternal City, you gotta go in early and spend some time and seeing all the sites, Vatican, Spanish Steps, the Parthenon, or the Pantheon. The Pantheon, I always get those two mixed up. The Trevi Fountain. There's just things that you have to, the Colosseum, you have to see these things when you're in Rome. Naples, a good chance to go see Pompeii, or maybe Herculaneum, which is another city that was affected by Vesuvius's eruption. Sicily, go to Taormina. I believe on Sicily, you're going to go see Messina. I think that's the actual city that you go see. It's a whole different part of Italy. Crotone, a little medieval town. Bari, the same thing, a beautiful cathedral there. My last name happens to be Croatian, and I've never been to Sebenik, but it's a phenomenal little seaport, beautiful marina, an amazing cathedral in that city as well. And then, of course, you end this trip with overnighting on the ship in Venice. And Venice is a phenomenal city. It's best seen early in the morning or at night. It does sometimes get a lot of groups coming in. So if you overnight, you're gonna have that chance to be able to have that little awe moment where you actually come into the city and see how it really functions, rather than seeing it just full of turrets. So that's definitely a must-see, is to spend some time in Venice and be able to overnight on board the ship while you're there. But just, this is an amazing itinerary. Again, 8 days is just not long enough to go to Europe for, so try to plan maybe going in early or staying late. Some great cities as options there, and the agency can help you plan that. Another very popular itinerary for Viking is our Viking Homelands. This is our very first itinerary that we did when we entered ocean cruising. It's all the areas that the Vikings explored and conquered. We do overnight in St. Petersburg, so you have a chance to go in and see the Hermitage. It's done either from Bergen to Stockholm or vice versa, but most cruise lines call this the Baltic. We call it Viking homelands because it's all of Tor's relatives. It's all the people that are true Vikings or where Vikings explored. So if you have that particular interest to see this part of Europe, we do it really well. We sometimes have 2 or 3 ships doing this itinerary at the same time. It's that popular for us. Another very popular shorter itinerary is our Barcelona to Rome itinerary, a chance to go on the French and Italian Riviera. We also have a longer itinerary. We're known for doing longer cruises. So if you want to go over and if you don't want to go in early or stay late, you could actually do a longer cruise and have all the ports together. One thing that you'll notice is we don't do a lot of open sea cruising. You can see on day 8, we do have a day where we're at sea. We really try to pack in the ports as much as possible. The people that cruise with us are definitely, they have a goal, they have something they want to see, there's something that they heard about. They definitely want to collect seeing different parts of the world, different ports of call to visit. So we really try to make that available on all of our ships, all of our itineraries. When our ships are not, we have a ship that does Alaska the past couple of years. So when that ship is not in Alaska, it does transition down to Australia, New Zealand. So that particular ship stays in the Pacific. A lot of the other ships are in Europe and then they come over and do the Caribbean. This particular ship is either in Alaska or it's down in Australia, New Zealand. It transitions through the Asia itineraries that we have as well. So if you're looking for something a little bit longer, a little further away from home, we do offer Australia, New Zealand. Bigger ships, to navigate the globe, we have to be stable in order to go through these oceans. So longer, 745 feet long, 94.5 feet wide beam. Everybody has a balcony. Few more features that you don't find on the river ships, more restaurants, the lounges, the spa, pools are available. Same idea with the Scandinavian elegance to our ships, elegant touches, featuring our Viking heritage. Our main entry to the ship is our atrium here. Very, very cozy places to visit. We call it the living room. These are little nooks that you can go into and visit with fellow cruisers and have some wonderful conversation. And we sail with the Scandinavian term called hygge or hygge. It has to do with being cozy and comfortable and feeling of wellness. And that's what we really encourage on board our ship. So hopefully you'll feel that when you're in our lounges. Explorer Lounge is the front of the ship looking out. Great place to come in during the day and look out and read a book. And then at night we have dancing and live music. High tea is in the winter garden. Come in here in the afternoon and have some sweet or savory desserts with tea, coffee. The pool does have a retractable dome, so we can keep the pool open year round, even in some not so great weather. You don't have to get there early to reserve a seat because there's enough space for everybody. And if you're so inclined and you're a little adventurous, head back to the ship. We've got our infinity pool. It's got a glass wall. You dip in, you go to the back of the ship, and so far it's held. You know, we bought the really good super glue, so it's a little scary. It's not that worrisome. Don't worry. You swim to the back. You look out through. I think you're on top of deck 8, and you look out through the back of the ship there. This is that spa that I mentioned. It is open to everybody. The idea is to go into the thermal spa, go into the salt water, get your blood vessels open, feel healthy, have that Scandinavian style of fitness. And then, and then what you do is you go, oh, I think my pictures got messed up here. I'm sorry. But the idea is you spend time in the spa there, and then you go into our snow grotto. Our snow grotto is actually a room where it's snowing, and you stay in there as long as you possible as you can. So you've been in the tub, you've opened up your blood vessels, then you go into this room where it's snowing. It's supposed to help you live longer. I don't know, that's a Nordic tradition, so but try it. I guarantee you're not going to be in that cold area for more than 30 seconds, but it's kind of fun to do. So our dining room is open seating, dine with whom you want, some wonderful views. We actually can open the windows and get fresh air. A lot of cruise lines don't even have that ability, but we can actually get fresh air flowing through our dining room. Mamson's is known for sweet and savory waffles and split pea soup, so a great place to go for a little afternoon snack. Here's a good example of some of the healthier choices there with tons of whipped cream on board there. Our cabins, we'll just finish off right now with our cabins. The cabins are well appointed. Everybody has a balcony. This is our entry-level cabin. Nice little sitting area both outside and inside. The features of the bathroom that I mentioned: heated floors, heated towel racks, fogless mirrors. This is our exact same cabin. It's just on a different deck. So the higher you are, a little bit closer to the action of all the lounges and restaurants, it is a little bit different category. Same square footage, but just a different class. This is our deluxe veranda, just based on location. Penthouse veranda, a little bit bigger living area, a little bit bigger balcony to enjoy. And then our junior suite. We're a little bit old-fashioned at Viking. In order to be called a full suite, you would have to have 2 separate rooms. This room could be divided by a curtain, but it's basically all one room. Great square footage. It's one of the best values as far as cruising goes because you've got the 2 areas to enjoy, but it is priced as a junior suite. A nice shot here of the sitting area within that cabin, stateroom. And then for the ultimate, we do have our Explorer suites. They range from 757 square feet to about 1,200 square feet, depending on the particular one that you're looking for. Large living area, nice plush loungers to enjoy. This is the owner suite. So if you're looking for the ultimate, it's about 1,400 square feet. Again, all of our cabins just occupy 2 people. We don't have triple cabins or quadruple cabins. We don't have rollaways. We don't have trundle beds, just 2 people per cabin. We try to keep it very simple. So here you can enjoy, each of you can enjoy 700 square feet alone in the owner suite. It's well appointed by his personal choices of books and music and wines that are available. But it's one of the nicest, well appointed. We're known for our little touches at Viking, so little key features that you'll find in our cabins. And of course, this is all designed around his aesthetic. And he knows cruising. He's been cruising most of his life. Just going to finish off really quick here with just a commercial about something new we have at Viking. And that's not right. So let's find another. Oh, where did it go? Sorry. I lost that slide, but I just wanted to remind everybody that we do have availability for our Great Lake cruises, our expedition cruises, and our Mississippi cruises, and also our Galapagos cruises. So if you are interested in something beyond river cruising and ocean cruising, just a couple months ago, we announced our new itineraries that'll start in 2022 for the Antarctic, Arctic, Great Lakes, and Mississippi. And I'm out of breath, so I apologize. I've been talking here probably longer than 35 minutes.
Yes.
But thank you so much. I hope everybody learned something or was motivated or are ready to book or go with us. So once I start, I sometimes just can't stop, so I apologize.
That's okay. I love the enthusiasm. So, and there's a ton of information that was shared. So thank you so much, John. There was a question, I think Andrea answered it, but can you answer if the ships are ADA certified?
Yes, they are all ADA. We're a European company, but because we cruise in US waters, there was, I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, we introduced the safety of life at sea and ADA compliance. So all cruise ships that pretty much are out there have standards of ramps and bars and wider doorways and different ADA cabins that are available in a variety of categories, not just the top categories. They have to be available in all the different categories.
Okay, thank you for answering that. That's awesome. The other thing I just wanted to mention, I know this came up in our previous presentation that we had with you, but you addressed that, it's adults only, 18 plus only. And I do want to say that, yeah, I mean, while maybe the average age is 50, 60, something like that. I have had clients that are definitely in the 20s, 30s, and 40s range. So I don't want to, you know, turn anybody away if they think that that's just, you know, not the right age category for you. But they've all enjoyed it, all of them. I mean, I've had 60s and, you know, all that. I've had almost every decade represented in a client that goes on biking. So
it's a lifestyle thing. I mean, it's easy to lump things together with age because we can run a statistic based on the information that we're given. Yeah, you're right. People 20s, 30s, 80s, 90s, there's a wide variety, and it depends on the length of the cruise, the itinerary. Yeah. We just didn't do a lot of. We started marketing to people in their 50s. Our goal this year was to kind of bring down our age limit. We were going to start marketing to the spring chicken 50-year-olds this year. but everything kind of went out the window this year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. No worries. So thank you so much. Well, I just wanted to, I know we've kind of went a little bit over our time, so I will be brief about explaining how we work as an agency, as a travel agency. I know some of the people that are on the webinar here are clients, so they already know this, but for those of you who do not, you know, like I said before, we're a travel agency in Lynnwood, Washington, and we are a fee-based agency, so we do charge a consultation fee for our services. That, you know, covers our expertise, our planning. You know, we attend webinars and seminars, and we dedicate our time to make sure your vacation is awesome. You know, and there are a lot of agencies that are starting to do this now, and if they are not, they're usually inserting their fee in the back end of the package, the travel package. So it just becomes a little hidden, and you're just not aware of it. So it's just like, you know, you see somebody advertising the price, oh, this is $199. Well, no, once you get to the point of putting in money, it's now $500 because there's the taxes, there's the fees, there's the resort fee, blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of what other people tend to do, and we just want to be upfront and honest with our clients, and they tend to appreciate that. So that's how we work, and we would love to, you know, have a conversation with you. So if you're not already one of our clients, we just want to have a conversation with you to see how we work and how we can help you, and make sure that we're the right match for you. So I will follow up with everybody via email after this presentation. We'll have a recording, I hope, of the presentation to share with you. And like I said, I'll have the detailed itineraries that we have group pricing on. So we will definitely share that with you, and our offers. So basically, I think I forgot to mention, the consultation fee depends on the type of trip that you take. So for this particular kind of a trip, if you're going to go on a cruise, it's $199 for that consultation fee. And so just by registering and attending our presentation, we're going to take 20% right off the top of that consultation fee. So I did the math for you already. It's $159.20. So a bargain. However, you know, like if I did write down the people who attended our presentation, only the people who attend the presentation get our biggest discount, which is $100 off that consultation fee. So that's easy math. $199 minus $199 bucks. I didn't even have to have a calculator for that. So that's even a better deal. So there you go. What it covers is, you know, basically, like I said, our time to plan and manage. And sometimes, you know, like with the cruise, you're not like really planning anything necessarily because they're kind of already a preset itinerary. But a lot of our clients, they want something before and they want something after, or they have questions about, you know, the airfare. Well, you know, Viking does a great job of all these things, but there's a lot of details that can be missed and can get overlooked. You know, where exactly on the ship do you want to be? You know, maybe this part of the ship is better than this part of the ship. You know, there's so many things that go into it, and that's what we can advise you on. We have a client that's doing the Italian sojourn, which is going around the boot of Italy, and Andrea is our Italy expert, and so she is helping us with working on the pre and post part of their trip. They want to, you know, really get into Italy and dig in. So they are working with us for those kind of things. So that's kind of what we offer. And we, you know, put together all your itinerary. We have an online digital itinerary. You can install an app on your phone, and it's all right there. So Viking provides some pretty awesome documents. So you always have the paper stuff if you need it, but we also have the digital stuff as well, just in case. So I think that is it. Did I miss anything, Andrea? Did I, or Tia? Because you guys are listening.
I think we covered everything. You know, the most important thing for me on the Viking cruise is the no corkage fee. So, I mean, that's my biggest thing. But otherwise, no. John, thank you so much, and obviously, Monica, thank you for all of your information, and to all the attendees, I appreciate you being here. Here's a sneak peek of my dog, who is saying hi.
Hi, Linus.
Yeah, that's it. No, you guys did a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, guys, and thanks for sticking with us for a little bit extra time there, and we'll be in touch.
I gotta go gargle. I talked to Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Tia. Bye.